Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly rise through life, while others, despite all their effort, stay stuck, frustrated, and unseen? What if the real secret wasn't louder work, more hustle, or endless talking, but something far quieter, almost invisible? Silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's the birthplace of clarity, strength, and unstoppable success. Right now, countless opportunities are slipping through your fingers because the world has trained you to fill every space with noise, distraction, and reaction. But those who master silence unlock a hidden current, a flow of success that pulls them forward with power and purpose. In the next moments, you're going to learn how to harness this force. Not someday. Not eventually. But starting right now. Because once you hear the truth about silence, you can't unhear it, and you won't want to. Chapter 1, Silence, the original power source. Before anything existed, there was silence. No sounds. No movements. Only a vast stillness, stretching out beyond what the mind can grasp. It wasn't emptiness. It was potential waiting. It was the fertile ground from which everything would eventually bloom. Every creation you admire, every world-changing invention, every powerful decision made in history began in that same quiet space. In silence, the mind doesn't just rest, it listens. It listens for ideas not yet born, for solutions not yet seen, for dreams still whispering in the dark. The ancients knew this truth long before technology and constant chatter. They built temples not just to honor gods, but to worship the stillness itself. They understood that silence wasn't just the absence of noise, it was the presence of wisdom. They entered the quiet to seek clarity, and from that clarity came power. But today, we rush to fill every gap. We treat silence like an error, a void that must be patched over with sound or motion or distraction. We've forgotten that silence isn't a lack. It's a source. It's the soil where the seeds of greatness take root. Notice the next time you reach for your phone during a pause. Notice when you click to the next video, refresh your feed, turn up the radio because you're uncomfortable sitting in stillness. Those urges aren't random. They're a signal. They're a doorway to growth that you're standing in front of without realizing it. What would happen if you didn't reach for the distraction? What would you hear if you allowed the stillness to expand around you? Breathe into that space. Let it stretch. Let it feel strange. That discomfort is the birthplace of transformation. Silence isn't dead air. It's pure, raw possibility. It's everything you could be, waiting for you to notice. When you reclaim silence, you don't shrink. You expand. You don't disappear. You appear more fully than ever before. Chapter 2, The Noise That Numbs Us. The world today isn't just loud, it's designed to be loud. Every buzzing phone, every blinking screen, every urgent notification is engineered to pull you away from yourself. They aren't just distractions. They're injections of chaos into your mind. Each beep trains you to crave novelty over depth. Each endless scroll teaches your brain to fear stillness. Before long, silence starts to feel unbearable. You reach for noise without even thinking, as if silence itself were dangerous. And it is, but not in the way you think. It's dangerous to the parts of you that prefer staying small. It's dangerous to the identity that's built on busyness instead of real progress. The true cost of all this noise isn't just lost time. It's a lost connection to your creativity, your instincts, your power. Your best ideas don't come while you're frantically refreshing your feed. They come in the empty spaces you're taught to avoid. They come when the surface noise finally fades and your deeper voice can rise to the surface. Start noticing where noise invades your day. Is it the background TV you leave on for company? The podcasts running non-stop even while you shower? The endless emails you check during meals, conversations, even moments that should be sacred? Noise hides in the margins. It eats away at your life in pieces, tiny enough that you don't notice until years have passed. Taking back your silence isn't about deprivation. It's a rebellion. It's a declaration that your mind, your spirit, your dreams deserve better. When you start removing noise, you won't feel deprived, you'll feel powerful. You'll feel space opening where there was only clutter. You'll feel energy returning to you that you forgot you even had. Silence is your birthright. Noise is the intruder. Take 1 hour today to simply sit without music, without screens, without anything but your breath. It might feel hard at first. Your brain might itch for stimulation. That's normal. That's just the noise addiction speaking. Don't panic. Just breathe. Let it pass. Beneath the noise is the life you've been longing to live. Chapter 3: The Magnetic Pull of a Quiet Mind. Have you ever met someone whose very presence seemed to command attention without a single word? Chances are, they spoke less than others, yet they radiated something far stronger. A kind of inner gravity you couldn't quite explain. A quiet mind draws opportunities, insights, and meaningful relationships like a magnet. When your internal noise fades, your instincts sharpen. You start picking up on subtle cues others miss, the tension in a voice, the hesitation in a handshake, the opportunity hidden beneath a casual comment. You don't just hear. You listen. You don't just react. You respond. Leaders, visionaries, healers, the ones who leave a lasting mark, have cultivated the rare discipline of internal quietness. They don't rush to fill silence with sound. They understand that silence itself is a language of authority. This isn't about being passive or shrinking back. It's about becoming an immovable force in a chaotic world, an anchor when everyone else is tossed by the waves. To start practicing intentional silence, don't just focus on speaking less. Focus on thinking less. Let small gaps form between your thoughts, like clearings opening in a dense forest. In those clearings, new light can enter. Insights you didn't force. Solutions you didn't chase. Allow your mind to breathe. Create space, not just schedules. The next time you feel pressured to fill a moment with noise, resist. Hold the silence a little longer. Feel your own gravity increase. Chapter 4: Micro-Moments of Silence. You don't have to retreat to a mountain monastery to reclaim the power of silence. Transformation begins in tiny, everyday moments, woven quietly into the fabric of your normal life. 1 minute of complete stillness between back-to-back meetings. 3 deep, silent breaths before answering an emotional email. A conscious pause at the doorway before stepping into your home. These micro-moments of silence reset your nervous system like hitting a mental refresh button. They recalibrate your focus. They send a powerful, repeated signal to your mind. I am the one steering this ship. I am the master of my space. The world may be swirling around you, but you remain still at the center. Starting today, insert 3 silent resets into your schedule. 1 in the morning. 1 in the afternoon. 1 in the evening. They don't have to be long or complicated. Just a full stop. A full breath. A full return to yourself. Watch how your energy shifts. Notice how your patience stretches. Feel how your mind begins to clear itself, without force or strain. Master the micro-moments, and you will master your days. Master your days, and your future begins to change on its own. Chapter 5: The Power of Morning Silence. The first few moments after you wake are sacred ground. Before the emails. Before the news. Before the world barges into your awareness. In those fragile early minutes, your mind is wide open, pliable, and highly programmable. What you allow in during that window sets the emotional tone for everything that follows. High performers, whether they're athletes, CEOs, or artists, guard their mornings fiercely. They don't reach for their phones while still half asleep. They don't invite noise before they're ready. Instead, they create silent rituals. Simple breathing. Soft prayer. Gentle stretching. Quiet journaling. No scrolling. No headlines. No frantic to-do lists. Even just 5 minutes of deliberate morning silence can create hours of mental resilience later. It's like building a solid foundation before adding floors to a skyscraper. Tonight, before you fall asleep, decide what you'll allow into those sacred first minutes tomorrow. Write it down if you need to. Prepare your space. Prepare your mind. Then, when you wake, protect those first moments as if your future depends on it. Because it does. If you train your mind to begin each day with intention rather than reaction, you set the course for everything else that follows. You stop chasing calm, and start being calm. Chapter 6: Silent Strength During Conflict. When tensions rise, the loudest voice rarely holds the power. Think back to a heated argument you've witnessed, or maybe even been part of. Notice how the person yelling often looks out of control, while the one who remains calm commands the room without saying much at all. Those who can stay silent, composed, and fully present during conflict possess a rare and commanding strength. Silence isn't passive, it's active control. It creates precious space between stimulus and response. Instead of firing off reactive words or defensive explanations, you allow emotions to settle, logic to re-emerge, and deeper understanding to surface. When you're silent in conflict, you're not retreating, you're leading. You choose your response with precision rather than throwing words into the fire. In heated moments, resist the almost irresistible urge to fill the air. Let silence do the heavy lifting. Often, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Silence becomes your shield and your sword. It slows the pace of conflict, forces others to confront their own noise, and gives you an edge most people never even see coming. Silence does not mean surrender. It signals that you're operating from a place of control, not chaos. From a place of wisdom, not fear. Next time emotions run high, lean into the silence. Let it be your strength, your strategy, and your superpower. Chapter 7: Silence as a Negotiation Weapon. In every negotiation, silence is your greatest ally. It's easy to believe you need to out-talk or out-argue the other side to win. But in truth, the real winners are those who master the art of saying less. Every time you resist the urge to fill a pause, you shift the power dynamic. Silence unsettles people. It demands authenticity. It forces honesty to surface. When you make a point, stay quiet. When you ask a powerful question, stay quiet. Let the silence stretch beyond your comfort zone. Let the other side speak into the emptiness. Most people can't bear the pressure of an unanswered space and will reveal far more than they intended: fears, motives, concessions they would have never admitted otherwise. In negotiation, words are currency. Spend them carefully. Speak with purpose, but value silence even more. Watch how the tension of silence compels the other person to fill the void. Often, they'll offer more than you even asked for. He who speaks least, wins most. Mastering this principle will put you miles ahead in business, in relationships, and in life itself. Chapter 8: Listening, the Silent Superpower. Most people listen just enough to reply. They're not hearing you. They're planning their next sentence. But true listening is different. It's an act of silent generosity, a rare and powerful gift in a world obsessed with speaking. When you listen fully, without interruption, without mentally scripting your rebuttal, you create a space most people have never felt. In that space, defenses fall away. In that space, people open up. Trust is built. Bonds are formed. Opportunities reveal themselves like hidden doors. Listening is not passive. It's a full body, full mind presence. Pay attention to the words, yes, but listen deeper. Hear the emotions in the voice. Notice the pauses between sentences. Feel the energy behind what's said, and what's left unsaid. Silence is the canvas upon which the richest conversations are painted. When you truly listen, you don't just hear, you understand. And understanding, at its deepest level, creates influence, loyalty, and human connection that no amount of talking can achieve. Let your silence be an invitation for others to share their truest selves. Chapter 9: Silence Awakens Intuition. Your intuition isn't a shout. It's a whisper. A barely there sensation you miss if your mind is noisy and cluttered. But when you intentionally create silence, you strengthen your ability to hear it. With less noise outside and inside, you start noticing nudges you once ignored. Subtle patterns, gut feelings, tiny signs others dismiss. Your intuition becomes a compass, often sensing the right direction before your rational mind catches up. Intuition is a skill, not magic. And like any skill, it sharpens with practice. Silence trains you to trust it. Next time you face a choice, resist the urge to think harder. Instead, pause. Breathe deeply. Ask your question internally, and wait. Don't force an answer. Let it rise naturally. You'll be surprised how often the answer was already there, whispering underneath all along. Chapter 10: Creating Through Stillness. Great works aren't born from busyness. They're born from deep wells of stillness. Michelangelo didn't race through sculptures, he carved them through endless hours of focused silence. Einstein credited many of his breakthroughs not to equations, but to long, quiet walks where his mind wandered freely. Stillness unlocks the subconscious. It taps into a well of originality and brilliance buried beneath the surface chaos. If you want to create, truly create, you must design a silent space for yourself. A corner of a room, a quiet trail, a chair by a window. Guard it fiercely. Visit it often. Even 5 minutes spent in real stillness can reshape an entire day. In that space, you'll find ideas you never knew you had. Solutions will seem to appear from nowhere. New directions, new passions, even new identities can emerge. Beyond the noise of the world, beyond the mental clutter, your greatest creations are waiting. You only need the courage to be still long enough to hear them call. Chapter 11: Silent Presence, the Ultimate Aura. Some people don't need to speak to be heard. They walk into a room, and instantly, the atmosphere shifts. Eyes turn. Conversations lower. It's not charisma in the flashy sense. It's something deeper. It's presence. True presence isn't about being loud, dominant, or putting on a show. It's about the energy you carry when you're completely rooted in yourself. Silent presence happens when you're unshaken by external noise, when you've built such inner stability that the outside world can no longer throw you off balance. People feel this. They sense when someone is grounded, deeply attentive, and moving at their own unhurried rhythm. You can't fake it. And you can't buy it. You earn it through practice, by sitting quietly, observing without judgment, strengthening your inner landscape. Each silent moment you devote to yourself adds another brick to the foundation of your presence. Over time, you stop being reactive. You become a tuning fork others adjust themselves to without even realizing it. Influence flows toward you because people trust what's solid, what's steady, what's real. Start small. Take 5 minutes each day to sit in complete silence. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just you, breathing and observing. Strengthen your internal world until you become the still center in a spinning world. That's the silent presence that speaks louder than words ever could. Chapter 12: Silence and Spiritual Connection. Across every ancient culture, silence was seen not as emptiness, but as a portal, a gateway to something greater than ourselves. In the quiet, stripped of distractions, you can finally hear the subtle whispers of your own soul. When you sit in silence, you move beyond the surface chatter of daily thoughts. You start to access deeper layers of intuition, wisdom, and inner knowing. It's in these moments that you feel the pulse of the universe beating alongside your own heart. Whether you call it God, Spirit, higher self, or simply the source, silence is the doorway. You don't need elaborate rituals. You don't need distant monasteries. What you need is consistency. Carve out just a few minutes a day to sit quietly. Close your eyes. Breathe. Let thoughts come and go without grabbing onto them. Listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. At first, it might feel empty, uncomfortable. But stay with it. Over time, the silence will reveal a living presence, a connection so profound that it redefines loneliness, fear, and separation. You realize you are never truly alone. And from that knowing, you begin to move through the world differently, anchored to something unshakable and infinite. Chapter 13, Silence Sharpens Focus. In today's world, attention is under siege. Every beep, buzz, and notification tries to steal a piece of it. Focus has become one of the rarest and most valuable currencies. And silence is where it's minted. Intentional silence trains your mind to resist the pull of distraction. Every minute you spend sitting quietly, resisting the urge to check your phone or chase a thought, you're building mental endurance. And endurance is what you'll need when it's time to focus deeply on what matters most. One powerful method is the silent work sprint. Set a timer for 90 minutes. Turn off your devices. Shut the door. Let your environment fall away until it's just you and the task at hand. No multitasking. No background noise. Just deep, single-minded devotion. At first, your mind will fidget and flail. That's natural. Push through it. Around the 30-minute mark, you'll find yourself entering a state of flow. A smooth, almost effortless rhythm of concentration. In one session of true silent focus, you can achieve more meaningful work than in an entire day spent half distracted. Mastering focus through silence isn't just about getting things done. It's about reclaiming your most powerful resource, your attention. Chapter 14, Reflection, the Silent Accelerator. Experience by itself doesn't create growth. It's what you do with that experience that matters. Without silent reflection, lessons pass us by, unnoticed and unused. But with reflection, every experience, good or bad, becomes fuel for mastery. Silent reflection is simple, but powerful. At the end of your day, find a quiet place. Close your eyes. Replay the day in your mind. Not with judgment. Not with endless analysis. Just quiet observation. Ask yourself, what went well? What could I have done differently? What did today teach me? You're not looking for big dramatic insights. You're looking for small, honest truths. Over time, these small truths build into wisdom. Patterns emerge. Blind spots are revealed. Strengths are sharpened. This practice transforms every day from just another 24 hours into a stepping stone toward the person you're becoming. Without reflection, life blurs together into noise. With reflection, you create clarity, direction, and conscious evolution. A few quiet minutes at night can fast-track your journey in ways that effort and hustle alone never could. Silent reflection is the hidden accelerator for growth most people overlook. Chapter 15, Building a Fortress of Silence. In a world addicted to noise, silence won't happen by accident. You have to defend it like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Your strength, your clarity, your creativity, all of it needs a protected space to thrive. Building a fortress of silence starts with boundaries. Schedule times in your day where no one and nothing can interrupt you. Turn off notifications. Step away from the constant drip of information. Create physical spaces where silence reigns, a reading chair, a meditation corner, even a simple spot on the floor where you sit and reconnect. And just as importantly, communicate your boundaries. Let your family, friends, or colleagues know these times and spaces are sacred. They aren't optional. They are necessary. Remember, protecting your silent space isn't selfish. It's an act of service, to yourself, to your mission, to the people you impact. The world will always pull at you with its endless demands. Your fortress of silence gives you the power to respond, not react. To act from clarity, not chaos. Guard it fiercely. Honor it daily. It's the wellspring from which your greatest work will flow. Chapter 16, Living a Life That Speaks Louder Than Words. The goal isn't to escape the world by diving into endless silence. It's to live so deeply aligned, so powerfully grounded, that your actions become your message. When you master silence, you embody a quiet confidence. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't chase validation. You move with purpose and calm certainty. People sense it immediately, even if they can't articulate why. You influence without pushing. You inspire without boasting. You lead without shouting. Your mere presence communicates authenticity, mastery, and fulfillment. This is the highest level of silent power, living a life that speaks louder than words. A life where your integrity is obvious. Your energy is magnetic. And your success flows naturally, without noise, without force, without struggle. It's not about doing more. It's about becoming more. Becoming so rooted in your values, your mission, your truth, that the world can't help but notice. In the end, silence isn't the absence of sound. It's the presence of strength. It's the foundation upon which you build a life of impact, influence, and deep, lasting success. And it all starts with one small choice. To sit quietly, to listen deeply, and to move through life with steady, unwavering presence. Success isn't a shout. It's a whisper, answered by those who know how to listen. Through the quiet, you've discovered the roots of true presence, power, focus, creativity, connection, and impact. Every great breakthrough begins not in the noise, but in the stillness that precedes it. Now, you know how to build a silent fortress that shields your energy. How to reflect, sharpen your focus, and create a life that resonates far beyond what words could ever say. You don't have to change the whole world in a day. Start with a single choice. Take a few sacred minutes of silence today. Protect them. Honor them. Let stillness become the soil from which your most extraordinary self grows. Let silence lead you, steadily, powerfully, into the flow of lasting success. Your next level isn't louder. It's deeper. And it begins, now. Keep the journey alive. If this audiobook spoke to your spirit, don't forget to subscribe to Audiobook's library for more powerful journeys like this.